Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another video talking about tank counters. So today we're going to focus on DPS. The next video will be on supports, but right now I just want to focus on DPS. So we'll start with D.Va. D.Va's a pretty good dive tank. She's got a lot of health, but she's massive, and her hitbox for her headshots is pretty good size. A good counter to her to start with is Genji. Her primary fire is basically shotgun blast, so if you just get up on her while she's doing that, and when she fires the micro missiles, she can't stop those, so you can usually, counter that back at her. She might use her matrix, but regardless, you're still nullifying her attack. Then you can just kind of bounce around her and, get headshots on her while she's in mech. Another good option, oddly enough, is Hanzo. It doesn't seem like it because he's a backline character sometimes. You can push with Hanzo pretty easily if you hit headshots, but she's a big target, so it's, like I said, it's not hard to hit headshots on her because it's on the front of her body. So Hanzo's an easy pick. She can eat the arrows, but just hold it till she does that matrix and then shoot her in the head. It's a lot of damage. Reaper's another good pick. And keep in mind, like, I understand that she has the matrix, but it's not permanent, and the more she uses it, the more it takes for it to charge up. So if you're playing Reaper, you can out damage her, and typically you're self-healing enough to keep you alive while fighting her. She's gonna be trying to matrix while she's shooting at you, but as you can clearly see, once you get up on her, it doesn't take hardly anything to get her out of the mech. The Reaper, 4 shots. So Metro's a pretty good pick. She can't block your lasers, she can't block your turrets, nothing. And then obviously your ultimate blocks all of her attacks, and your ultimate can save your team if you're in a tough situation. Since it's just a giant shield, you can easily just pop that out right in front of her, completely block her bomb. I'd say those are my top picks against D.Va. Doomfist is one of those guys that has a lot of counters. I think Bastion's a pretty good one. Good damage. Even if he blocks, if you just spray into his block, he's gonna either get low health or, gonna have to come out of it eventually. So it's really not hard to work around the block. Plus you have really high health, so he can't just dive you and kill you instantly, in most cases. Cassidy's a pretty hard counter to Doomfist. I have main Doomfist, so I know it's very annoying. The biggest thing with Cassidy against Doomfist is his grenade. Like, if you stick a Doomfist with your grenade, he can't punch and he can't seismic strike. He can't do anything. He can block, that's about it. He's just kind of stuck until the grenade goes off. So it's a big issue for him. I think Echo's a good pick. Most flyers are, because he can't really do much. He can jump up and hit you potentially, but he's not going to kill you unless you're low health or by a wall by chance. But Echo's a pretty good pick. Junkrat's a pretty good pick. Simple reason. If you throw out your crap as he's about to punch, or you throw in an area where you think he's gonna come through at with the punch, it'll catch him, and you can finish him off pretty easily. Sombra's a really good pick.
There are no secrets.
You could hack him as he charges a punch while he's blocking, all that stuff, knock him out of it. Honestly, it might be a better pick than Cassidy, just because of that. And if he goes for a seismic like high up, you can hack him midair and he'll just knock him out of it completely, and he'll just fall straight down. Your team can just lay into him. I want to say that Torb's a pretty good pick. Widow might be, unless he dives you, just because of his health. Like a headshot from Widow while you're playing Doomfist from far away is not good. But if you get dove, you're probably gonna get killed because your health is not very high on Widow. I think Torb's a good pick because Doomfist, if he focuses your turret, you can focus him, and if he's not focusing you, like if he's jumping around and stuff, your turret's still gonna shoot at him. It's not a lot of damage, but it's enough to, you know, definitely help out in the situation. And you can get up on him and just take him out pretty easy. You know, he doesn't have any armor, he's low health. I know he gets over health, but it's not the best. Sorry guys, my throat's a little bit sore today. So my top picks against Doomfist are Cassidy, Sombra, and honestly, we'll say Echo because she's very annoying to deal with on Doomfist. Like, unless she's on the ground in front of you, she's hard to hit. You know, she's got a little bit more maneuverability than like Pharah. So those are my 3 picks against Doomfist. Let's see, next on the list is Junker Queen. We're gonna start with Ashe.
I'm the last one you'll ever cross.
I think for obvious reasons. She doesn't have any armor, she doesn't have any blocking, so keep your distance, play poke. You know,
Royal disgrace.
I know our health might be a little bit lower right now because we're in the training area, but like realistically, if you get on a Junker Queen with Ashe from the distance and just poke her, you're gonna do quite a bit of damage because, like I said, she doesn't get armor. So just that alone's a good pick. Bastion's a pretty good pick. She can't really kill him that fast. She can kill him decently because she has a shotgun, but if, like, kind of like with Ashe, if you keep your distance, just play it smart. She's doesn't have a ton of health, no armor, and you can usually get rid of her pretty quickly. Cassidy's similar reason to Ashe, not as good because you gotta get a little bit closer so she can close in on you with her shout if she wants to. Echo's a pretty good pick. Kind of like Doomfist, she's got a shotgun, so if you just keep your distance, play it safe, fly around, you can typically deal with her or help your team deal with her pretty easily, as long as there's not a hit scan on the other team focusing you. I'd say Junkrat's a pretty good pick. His damage output's high. He's probably going to be a pick for a lot of tanks, obviously, because of his damage output. One of the things about this is you can throw that out like this, so the timing is not great. This is not a major reason why I say Junkrat, but if she's about to ult and you see it, throw that right in front of you if she's coming at you, and it's going to stop her. Or you could throw a bomb and knock her out of it. Another thing with the bombs on her, when she has her axe slash, she has to wind up for it. You know, just do that, get out of it, do some damage. She's not gonna hit you. So, Junkrat's a pretty good pick. Sojourn's pretty good. Play like a kind of semi-poke type thing. Just make sure you get your hits. But I personally, like, I main Sojourn on DPS, and I know that she melts a lot of people. Like, even just her regular fire, not her railgun shot, does quite a bit of damage. Especially if you have a mercy pocket, like, the damage is insane. So, to me, she's a pretty good pick. Sombra's a decent pick because she can block the shout and the axe slash when it's happening. She's actually a really good pick for that reason. Never mind.
There are no secrets.
So yeah, if you're like, if for some reason she spots you and she goes for a slash, you can usually get your hack off before she gets that, and you can do that. It's gonna block her shout for a sec. You might be able to do a lot of damage with your virus, and you know, get out of there if you need to. So my top picks against Junker Queen on DPS are Ashe. I want to say Sombra, and I think Echo or Junkrat. We'll call it 4. We'll say Ashe, Sombra, Junkrat, and Echo. Now there are other good picks, but these are my top picks. Actually, you know what? Let's take out Junkrat and put in Bastion, because he can just shred her with his turret. So yeah, those are my picks. Next on the list is Orisa. Incredibly annoying, as we all know. Again, kind of like with Junker Queen, Ashe is a good pick. Not as good as this, but if you play back and poke like you're supposed to, even if she's armored up, you can still get a lot of shots on her. She's a big target. And Bob also does just pretty good distraction and does good damage to her. Cassidy's okay. Echo's okay, not as good because she can shoot you more with her primary fire. It's not super accurate, but it's enough to kind of ward you off a little bit, and she can block your attacks, except for your beam. But if you get in close to your beam on her, she's probably going to try to javelin you. Bastion's a decent pick. He's not like the top, but I say he's good just because if you time her cooldowns right, just melt her. Like, if you work around her javelin spin, that's the biggest thing, is her spin. Like, fortify, it does reduce damage, but you can still spray her, and you're still gonna out damage the heals with your turret form, even if she's fortified. So, Bastion's a pretty good pick. Next against Orisa, I would say Genji's a pretty decent pick. He's good. Genji's, you know, anyone that plays Genji, you know you're hard to hit sometimes. Orisa's got that primary fire that's just kind of hit scan almost, and then she's got the javelin. You can reflect both of those back at her. And on top of that, if you need to get out, you can with your little sword dash. And it's very useful if she ults, she tries to catch you in it, just zip out of it real quick. So Genji's a pretty good pick. Hanzo, okay. Hanzo is going to be kind of like Junkrat, like one of those things that's usually pretty good against most tanks because of how high his damage is. So I would say Hanzo and Junkrat are okay picks for sure. Mei, if Orisa pushes you on Mei, she's probably going to kill you. Like, she's going to just stand on you and headshot you because you're annoying. Sorry to all the Mei players, but that's what I do if I play Orisa and there's a Mei. Plus, if she has Fortify ready, when you try to freeze her or use your ult, she can just walk right out of it. So, not a good pick. Pharah, kind of the same reason as Echo. Not the best pick, but she's okay. I really want to say Reaper.
Can't escape.
Because she's a big target, but the issue is she can melt Reaper. If she gets up on you, if it's a 1v1, she's probably going to win because she can headshot you and body shot you faster than you're going to heal yourself, especially if she uses Fortify. And if she uses Spin, that does damage to you and it, you know, negates your damage. Sojourn and Soldier, they're okay picks with the hit scan. Sombra's a very good pick.
In my world, there are no secrets.
You can hack her out of a lot of stuff. Hack her out of her spin, hack her out of her javelin.
Friends, right?
You can't hack her out of Fortify, but you still get that damage boost if you hack her. The biggest thing with Sombra that they added a few updates ago, when she is ulting, you can hack her while she's ulting and stop her ult. So that's one of the big things with Sombra against Orisa. Symmetra, similar to Mei, except she's not as goofy. So Orisa is highly susceptible to your lasers, kind of like the Ice Beam, except yours does way more damage, so it's a way bigger threat. Even if she's spinning, you know, you're still gonna go right through that. Even if she's fortified, you're still gonna do a lot of damage, so she's really good, like, damage counter to Orisa. Forb's okay. Tracer's, she's alright. If she hits you with the javelin, she's probably gonna kill you because of your health. Widow, not so much. You can't hit headshots on her fortifies, so she's probably gonna try to avoid poking out unless she has Fortify ready, and then your damage is gonna do next to nothing.
Reality favors repetition.
So my top picks for Orisa counters on DPS are probably Genji, Sombra, and Symmetra. I think those are probably the best options in most scenarios. That's not to say other choices aren't good. Bastion's a really good choice because of his high damage output. And like I said, if you time the cooldowns, that's the issue. You have to time the cooldowns with Bastion, otherwise she's gonna negate your turret. Because she's probably gonna wait for you to use it before she uses her spin. That's what I would do. Yeah. but there are a lot of good choices. But my top choices are, for
Watch your
sure,
surroundings.
from experience, playing as Orisa and playing against Orisa, Genji, Sombra, and Symmetra. They are the most difficult to deal with, for sure.
I am outstanding.
So next is Ramattra. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but again with Ashe, I'm not gonna go out there and explain because, like I said, she does poke. Ramattra is more close range. He does have the range attack, but a lot of times if he gets pushed, he's gonna go into the Nemesis form. Cassidy's an okay pick because if he's chasing you, you can grenade him and kind of get away maybe. Genji not so much. You can just switch to Nemesis and just
Such
whop
a
you.
lack of awareness.
Honor is all I
So
have
Hanzo,
left.
this is one of those scenarios where Hanzo's a really good pick. Ramatra's base form doesn't have a lot of health, so Hanzo's gonna be a big hitter against him if you get those headshots in. And even when he's in Nemesis form, you're still gonna do a lot of damage. You know, if he blocks, just go for the Storm Arrow. And he obviously can't really do much about your dragon. Like if he's standing there blocking someone else and you shoot him with that, just, you know, lay into him afterward if he does try to walk out of it. Hanzo's a pretty good pick. Junkrat's a pretty good pick. Similar reason as always. Again, like I said earlier, Junkrat's probably gonna be a good pick against most tanks because of his damage output. But if he's chasing you in Nemesis form, just, you know, use your mind, blast him off so he can't punch you. Or you get that mind. Yeah, you get that bear trap out and catch him in that. May's an okay pick. She can slow him down if he's chasing you, but he does move faster on his own, so he might still be able to hit you, especially if you're walking backwards. So the whole deal with Ramattra is he's supposed to be anti-air with his little secondary ability. If you fly through that, it's gonna bring you straight down to the ground if he has, you know, good placement. So Pharah might not be a safe pick. Same with Echo. I think Reaper's a good pick. He's a big target. Now his damage does do a lot of headshot damage. It's not as much as Orisa's though, so you can typically deal with it, and he's easier to kill than Orisa.
Your afterlife.
And if he's just standing there blocking, you know, what about it? He can't do anything. He'll stand there and block in Nemesis form.
For no one.
It's not like Doomfist where you charge up his punch, so a lot less risk in that. I think Reaper's a good pick against Ramattra. If you don't like these takes, that's fine. You know, feel free to hit the comments. Tell me what you think. Don't just come in there saying this is a bad take and then not say anything. Like, you need to express your own opinion before you just say that my take is bad and then not say anything yourself. Like, that doesn't make sense.
There are no secrets.
I want your opinions. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you try because I want to try it. Okay, moving on. Ramattra. Sombra's a good pick. Just easy reason, you know. You can hack him for a sec if he's in this form. So what this is going to do is it's going to keep him in this form a little bit longer. So that gives you a chance to, you know, maybe finish him off before he gets his ability back to go Nemesis. Same when he's in Nemesis, honestly. If you hack him, he can't block for a sec, so that gives your team a chance to just kind of lay into him. So my top picks against Ramattra are, I'm gonna say Hanzo, Junkrat, and Sombra. Bastion's a good pick as usual because of his damage output, but if he just stands there and blocks your turret, it's not gonna have a massive effect. We'll keep out Bastion though, because next is Reinhardt. So with Reinhardt, his shield, Bastion can just blow through his shield. So that's very handy, very useful. About all you need sometimes, honestly. Because your team can just lay into him because he's big and he's slow. He can charge, but like, you know, you can see where he's going. It's kind of a predestination site with that, but Bastion's a great pick. Cassidy's a great pick.
Someone needs to fill this.
If you're fighting a Reinhardt, unless he has really good aim with his fire strikes, you can typically just kind of lay into him.
I'm really feeling the
Especially with your grenade, if he's chasing you, like, he's gonna slow down, you're gonna get more distance. Use your roll, dodge his strikes, use that to back out of his swings. Yeah, Cassidy's a pretty good pick. Echo's a really good pick against Reinhardt. Like I said, he's slow. He's got the fire strike. It's not good against air people unless you have just really good predictions. You can get behind him in a shield when you go up in the air, because if he focuses you, then your team can probably lay into him if you're off to the side and he's trying to shield against you. So Echo's a really good pick. These two, Hanzo, Junkrat, decent picks as usual. This is a situation where Mei's a really good pick. So Reinhardt, if you're shooting him with your primary and backing up, he's not gonna catch you. Like, he's gonna have to fire strike to hit you. Yeah, Mei's a really good pick against Reinhardt. Slows him down, he can't hit you with his hammer. Definitely a good choice. Pharah, similar to Echo. He can't focus you with the shield because then he'll be open to people on the ground. Pretty simple. Pharah's a good counter to Reinhardt. Reaper's an okay counter. If he just starts swinging on you though, you're probably not going to get out of there. You're going to have to phase out. Sojourner and Soldier, they're okay. They can help get rid of the shield faster. Sombra's okay. Get that hack on him while he's shielding against the other team. It brings it down. He's susceptible for a few seconds. So similar to Mei, I think Symmetra's a decent pick. I don't think she's a top pick because she can't slow him down. So if I'm playing Reinhardt and there's a Symmetra on me, she's gonna try to charge up her beam on my shield, which does very quickly. All they have to do is put their shield down and swing at you. That's it. Your beam's still gonna build up, but not as fast, and he's on you. Like, he's gonna 3-shot you. So she's a decent pick. She does a lot of damage. Now, if you keep your distance, you might be good. But if he like starts moving in on you and just doesn't put up his shield and just starts swinging, like, not a good pick. All right, next on the list is Roadhog. So this is gonna be similar to someone from earlier. Ashe is a really good pick for Roadhog. You can usually stay far enough back to avoid his hook, and his secondary fire, it's pretty dangerous, but again, you could probably stay far enough back to avoid that, hopefully. If not, you can push him back with your coach gun, but other than that, he's a big target. You know, easy headshots, easy body shots, no armor, all charge. So Ashe is a good pick. I want to say Bastion's a good pick, but to be honest, if he's getting heals and he uses his take a breather, like, you're probably not going to kill him. Plus you're massive, so he can kill you pretty quickly.
Someone needs to fill this
So
saddle.
like Ashe, Cassidy's also a good pick. You know, you get those headshots,
Barrels are smoking.
it makes a big difference. You know, sometimes you can roll to avoid his hook, or you can roll back when he does hook you. It reduces damage by a lot. So I think he's a good pick. No armor characters are usually good for hit scans. Echo's a good pick. He can hook you out of the air, but it's not very likely. You just dish out damage to him. Genji, not so much. Hanzo for sure. Hanzo's a pretty good pick for most tanks, but Roadhog, you know, like I said, he doesn't have armor, so fully drawn shot does, you know, over 100 damage per hit. Let's see how many hits it takes. And that's just with you shooting at him. Obviously he's gonna get heals and stuff in a team fight, but you line up those headshots on his big ass. There you go. Easy. Unless he hooks you. Roadhog's in a Roadhog does okay against Junkrat, I think. Mei's okay for Roadhog. If he closes in on you, you can back away while you're slowing him with your primary, but I mean, if he hooks you and pulls you back in, he's probably gonna get you. Far as someone to Echo, good choice because she can get up in the air away from him. Reaper's a pretty decent pick. He can't like one tap you that easily because of, well, I say one tap. He can't combo kill you that easily because your health is 250. Plus, even if he's doing damage to you, you're shooting back at him, you get that, you know, self-healing. So Reaper's a pretty good pick. So as far as characters like this go, like I main Sojourn. I know that Sojourn's pretty decent against Roadhog.
All of us.
If he catches you, it's a little bit of a problem, but you can usually get away from him if you have your slide ready.
You're falling apart.
Like I've said before, he doesn't have armor, so hit scans are pretty good against him. Same way with Soldier, you know, even just body shots, it's okay, it's decent, but if you can track his head pretty good, Soldier's a good pick. You can stay back too and do that. Sombra's a great pick. Roadhog, honestly, a lot of DPS are good at fighting Roadhog. He just, if a Roadhog is good, he's gonna kill you fast. Regardless, like if he sees your health go like 20 or 30 below, he's gonna go for that hook, melee and shoot. Like it's kind of a done deal. But Sombra's pretty good. She can hack him when he's about to heal or while he's healing to stop his healing, and that leaves him a little bit more vulnerable. So good pick. Yeah, honestly, every character is a pretty decent pick against Roadhog. In terms of survivability, I would have to go personally with Ashe, Cassidy, and I think Echo and Reaper. Sojourns are pretty good too, but not as good as the other ones for, you know, doing the whole poke thing. Because Roadhog's more of like a brawl tank, I think. He's not really dive, even though some people play him like dive. But I'm gonna say Ashe, Cassidy, and for up close, Reaper. Next is Sigma. So for Sigma, I'll just start with Echo. I'm not really gonna go anyone that really shoots that much because of his shield and absorb, but you can get around his shield up in the air. So Echo's a good pick. Maneuverable. His shots, he's kind of hard to hit flyers with his shots. Hanzo's okay. Junkrat's okay. You can drop in on him. This is a situation where May's a pretty good pick. You can get up on him. You can freeze him. If he tries to absorb while everyone else is shooting at him, you can still hit him. It's not going to stop your freeze. And if you see him pull up his boulder, you can just do this, or you can do this. Or like with most tanks, if he's pushing too far up, you can use your ice wall behind him to block him, and then your team can just gang up on him. So May's a pretty good pick. Pharah, same as Echo, good pick. She's out of reach usually. Reaper's an okay pick, I think. If he has his absorb ready, that'll be a problem. You'll just be shooting at nothing or not shooting at all. So I think if you work around that, he's okay. But I mean, in a team fight, probably not the best. Sombra's pretty good. You can stop him as he's getting ready to throw a boulder if you time it right. When he's ulting, you can hack him out of his ult. That's big. Huge play. Symmetra, like May, she's pretty good. She can't block his boulder with anything, but if you preemptively set up something, if you're in the middle of a fight with him, you know, you see him do the boulder, you can just zip out of there real quick. Just, I mean, nothing crazy, just a small little distance. Tip from me, and I am a tank main, so I kind of know, like I've got over 500 hours in comp just on tank. Not even the other roles combined. So I kind of know what's hard to play against and what works better against me when I'm playing certain tanks. So keep that in mind. Like, I'm not just saying this stuff, like I'm not looking it up and saying, oh, maybe this will work. Like, no, this is from experience. So against Sigma, my better choices are Echo, May, and Symmetra. And Sombra. We'll say 4. So Echo, May, Sombra, and Symmetra. Okay, so next is Winston. Bastion. Easy pick. So Winston's a dive tank, as you all know. He's got an okay amount of health, a little bit of armor, but you know, this is Bastion, so he just melts people. If Winston dives in on you, you can usually blow through his shield pretty quick, and you can just start spraying him before he can jump away. Or if you have supports on your team or anyone that can stun, if they stun him, you know, you're probably gonna finish him off, unless they have a life leader or a Kiriko. But Bastion's a really strong pick against Winston. He can't kill you that quickly either with his primary. Same with Cassidy.
Someone needs to fill this out.
If he jumps on you, typically you can, you know, you hit those headshots, that's gonna do a lot of damage. Plus, you can't really, if you like time your grenade right after he lands for a few seconds and hit him with it, and you know, he's trying to get away, you hit him with that, he can't jump away. So that gives you a little bit more time to finish him off. Plus, it does extra damage just in case you don't finish him off. Again, Echo's a pretty good pick here, I think, as a flyer. I mean, he could jump by and like punch you or something, but he'd be wasting his time focusing on you, trying to hit you with small amounts of damage. So obviously that's not like smart for a Winston player. So she's a good pick. Genji, definitely not. Hanzo, he's a decent pick. He's hard to dive with Winston. If a Hanzo's hitting his shots, you're not gonna want to dive him. Same with Junkrat. Mei is not a great pick against Winston, I think, in my opinion. I don't usually have trouble with Mei's if I play Winston because she can't really do much. She can just damage you, but you can jump back on her if you get too far away. Reaper is like the prime pick for Winston, I think, because typically your self-healing outdoes his damage or close to it, and you do a lot of damage to him because he's massive. So he's definitely a really good pick. Like, even if you're just shooting him in the back, like, it's easy shots, easy damage. Reaper's a top pick. All right, Sombra's a really good pick for Winston.
There are no secrets.
Similar to Cassidy, except I think it's a little bit more effective. Since you get that bonus damage on him. If you wait a sec after he lands and you hit that, he's about to, you know, try to jump out, do whatever he does. Your hack's obviously gonna stop it, and then you can just kind of lay into him with your team. I think Torbjorn's an okay pick. He's kind of like average for most everybody. Like, a lot of people that he's good against are like other DPS. But I mean, I should say other people he's really good against are other DPS, but as far as tanks go, he's okay against all of them just because he puts out a good amount of damage. Winston, for example, if you ever tear it out, it'll hit him while he's in the air. Or if he gets on you, you can use your little overload overclock thing, and then just get up on him with your shotgun, your secondary fire.
I think you need more genetic enhancements.
But yeah, he's a good pick against Winston, I think. Okay, so top picks against Winston. I'm gonna say Reaper for sure, always. Sombra's pretty good, and we'll go with either Cassidy. No, we'll go with Cassidy and Bastion. So Bastion, Cassidy, Reaper, and Sombra are all my top 4 picks for dealing with the Winston team. Next is Wrecking Ball. This is gonna be the same. So he's big. Bastion's a good choice for him. You're just spraying in his direction, not even headshots. You know, you're gonna hit him a lot. So Bastion's a really good choice. Cassidy's an okay choice because of his grenade. Plus, if you get up on him close in your secondary fire, you know, you just kind of hit him with 6 quick shots. Echo's okay. He's kind of hard to hit, so you might miss your stickies. Genji's not the best because if he uses his like roll or a slam, he's gonna hit you even if you're deflecting. Hanzo's okay just because of his high damage, so is Junkrat. I like Mei for Wrecking Ball because she can wall off behind him or in front of him, whichever way he's going. Or if he's like spinning around an objective, you can usually throw up a wall and just stop him dead in his tracks. Plus your freeze does slow him down to where he can't really get away that easily. So she's a good pick for Wrecking Ball for sure. Ara's okay. Reaper's a really good pick, kind of like with Winston. Just kind of stay on him with it. You're gonna hit him with most of your shots. It's gonna do a lot of damage. Sombra's a really good pick. You know, you can stop him from doing a whole lot. Get up on him. If he's in the air and you hack him, you will block him from being able to do his slam. So that's kind of big, because that keeps him from possibly launching you and your team up in the air, and also leaves him just like vulnerable, like he just falls down and he's just there. So keep that in mind. But yeah, she's a really good pick. Torb's a good pick on him, kind of like with Winston. You throw out your turret, it'll target him a lot as he's like rolling around. So my top picks for Wrecking Ball when playing DPS, I would say are Bastion, Mei, and probably Reaper and Sombra. As far as like making him less useful, definitely Sombra, and definitely Cassidy and Mei. Reaper just damages him a lot. So yeah, those are my picks for that. And the last one we have is Zarya.
I'm the last one.
So the whole poke thing, it works out really well against her because she kind of, her range is limited and her secondary fire is like slow and easy to avoid. Like if she shot, I could just step to the side and she'd miss. But as far as her health goes, she doesn't have much health. She only has, I think it's 450. No armor. Cassidy's okay. Believe it or not, Bastion I think is a really good pick against her. Like even if she bubbles, if it's just like maybe 2 or 3 of them and 2 or 3 of you, if she bubbles, like just lay into her with your turret. There's absolutely nothing she can do about you just shredding her, because you're gonna go right through her turret almost instantly. Or not her turret, sorry. Just you're gonna go right through her shield almost instantly with your turret. And then you're gonna be able to just melt her because her health is low. So Bastion's a good pick. Echo's a pretty decent pick.
I am always ready to
I wouldn't recommend it though, honestly, because she can save her bubbles for when you use your little stickies. Hanzo's a decent pick, kind of the same reason as Ashe. If you time your shots right and avoid the bubbles, you can do a lot of damage, kill her pretty quickly. Mei's okay, Far's okay. Reaper's pretty good.
You can't escape.
Like anybody, like the biggest issue with Zarya is people like just they keep shooting her sometimes without doing a lot of damage, so they just charge her up. If you're playing Reaper, just like, you know, just don't shoot her. Get up close, get those shots.
Fire and brimstone.
She's gonna keep shooting at you. Whenever she's shooting at you, you know, you can do your little phase shift and then come back and then just finish her off.
Death stops for no one.
Now, I think this will be like debatable for people, but I like Sim for Zarya, mainly just for the fact that whenever she uses her bubble, it is shield, so if you're shooting it, it's going to charge you up really fast. So whenever you're charged up and she doesn't have that, you're going to melt her health way down quickly. So I think that's a good pick. So for the last tank, I'm gonna say my top picks to play against Zarya as a DPS are Ashe for the, you know, go for headshots and stuff when she's not shielded. Bastion for not really close but kind of mid-range, because if you have your turret ready, you can just go right through her shield. As long as you have heals on you, you can go through her shield and just spray her. You know, who cares if you charge her up? If she's dead, it doesn't matter. That's one of the situations where I say, yeah, shoot the shield and then kill her, because Bastion's turret does a lot of damage. Reaper, similar situation. Symmetra, I feel like my picks are weird to play against Zarya, but this is just me. Like Mei, I think she's okay, but like her damage isn't high enough to kind of get around the fact that she can bubble up and avoid damage from you. Junkrat's a decent pick, I think. But my top are definitely going to be Ashe, Bastion, and Symmetra to play against Zarya. Alright guys, that's going to be it. I appreciate you all watching. Hope you enjoyed. If this video does well, my first video of tank versus tank counters did okay. It's still going. So if you want to check that out, I'll make sure to tag that at the end of this video. But if you want to see more, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Feel free to comment below your thoughts and opinions. I know my picks are different from everyone else's, but this is just from my own personal experience. Keep that in mind. So don't come in my chat, in my comments, saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This is from my personal experience. If yours is different, that's fine. Everybody's different. Everybody plays the game different. Or if you want to say, well, fundamentally, this character is better against this character, like, maybe so. But I also like to counter Orisa with Orisa, so, you know, you diff their Orisa with yours, you're typically going to win. I'm just weird like that. Anyway, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Next video will be top support roles against each tank.